Welcome. First of all, excited to be here, folks. This is our second to last open training. We've got one more after this on Google Calendar, which will be next Tuesday, but also it's going to be kind of our catch-all. So there's been a couple products that we haven't necessarily had kind of a grouping to work with. There's a few things in Chrome, those sorts of things. And that might be part of the reason, or that all that will be covered next week. So be prepared for that. If you have to leave early, or if you know teachers that would really be excited about this, Clint's just saying that it's fall break for a lot of districts. This is a great, we're going to be recording this and then sharing it out on YouTube, so you can share that out with whoever you'd like to. So a couple things as we get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here with you really quickly. The first thing I want to say is, if you have any questions as we go through, we're going to be going through Gmail today and Google Keep. And as you have questions, go ahead and ask them. I'd be more than happy to work with you. The first thing I want to point your attention to is on our Google site that we've been working on throughout the entire fall. You can find this at bit.ly/all-caps-UEN fall Google. And it has all the materials, and I update this week to week. And with next week being our last week, I'm going to update it one more time once we get that video going, and then we'll just keep it open for about a year, so you can go back and watch that. I've been formulating what we're going to do next for kind of open trainings, and starting about mid-November, I'm going to take a week or two off. We're going to do trainings on Tuesday on applied digital skills and do some really cool lesson plans that adopt all of these skills that we've been working on in GCE1, but using them in a practical sense in your classroom. If you've never seen applied digital skills, it's amazing. Check it out. It's a Google product. With that said, a couple things before we even get into Gmail and Keep, just some housekeeping items, but also some really cool things that are happening with Google here in the state of Utah. So first of all, if you, again, get behind on any of these videos and you're like, I want to watch these again, they're over on the UEN video YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and just type in UEN, you'll find all of them. And there's a video section right here. And you can see all of the videos from UEN, including all of the Google trainings as we've gone through them over the last 9 weeks, as well as we have a playlist that's ongoing of the Google trainings that have been going on as well. So lots of great stuff there, makes it really accessible. The other thing, as we wrap up this next 2 weeks and we wrap up GCE1, GCE2, many of you want to get certified. And I would definitely recommend the next step being certification. And so we wanted at UEN and GEG Utah to be able to help you achieve that goal and do it in a cost-effective way, because the test for level 1 is $10 every time you take it, and it's $25 for level 2. And so we wanted to level the playing field a bit. So if you're interested, UEN offers a GCE1 and a GCE2 MOOC course that asks you to go through the Google list of requirements, basically their training ground, and it'll be a lot of the same stuff we've covered in this class as well, in these videos. But at the end of it, when you go to certification, we are offering a free voucher to every teacher that wants to take the test. That is $10 for GCE1 and $25 for GCE2, and it's for any teacher that wants to do it. So if you're interested, those courses are on UEN's Canvas page, and if you type in UEN course catalog into Google, you'll be able to see that right away. So with that said, we are going to jump over to our website and get started with our training today. Like always, we're going to spend about 10 to 15 minutes on GCE1. It might be a little bit quicker today because we're covering a couple of products that a lot of people are really familiar with. Some things like Gmail, where it's kind of everyone uses it if you're a Google user. But we're going to look at that, and then we'll do GCE2 for 10 to 15 minutes, and then I have a couple helpful hints. And if you have any ideas as we go through, please feel free to drop them in the chat. I'd be more than happy to work with you on that as well. So let's go ahead and jump over. I'm going to grab my Gmail account here. Now, this is a live Gmail account, folks. This is my actual Gmail account. I've cleared anything that I think has any privacy issues for any teachers. But no, I probably will blur this out on the back end, but it's the only way to teach it, and that's all good. Sorry, I have a quick question from Michelle. I just want to cover this really quick. Do you have to be a teacher to take advantage of the free test, or can schools tech leads also take advantage of that? Anybody who is a Utah educator at any level, so if you're a tech lead, you can go take those GCE courses, and at UEN, and we'll give you a test code to get certified. So yes is the answer. Feel free to, if you're a tech leader. We'd love to see those tech leaders get the certification as well, because you're the ones that influence the teachers to do awesome stuff with Google. So hopefully that helps. All right, today what we're going to cover again is Gmail and some Google Keep, and hopefully some ways to stay organized as a teacher. So the first thing I want to cover is, let's jump into GC1. Again, I'm just going to slide this over here and show you. If you go to our site that we linked at the very beginning, and it's in the chat, right here it says Google, Gmail, and Keep, and it has all the materials we're going to cover today in class. So the first thing that Google wants you to know for GC1 is how to find email or find things in your email. So we want to be able to find 3 different things: attachments, labeled emails or starred emails, and an email from a specific colleague, and then also search in keywords. So to do all of that, we're going to go up to our search bar at the very top of our Gmail account. And we're going to just go ahead and type in there. Now I could go ahead and type in there, and I could type in, Google Certified Trainer or GEG Utah. And I'd go ahead and see everything that I need to know about that particular thread and just be able to search it. But most people who use this, they only go ahead and start typing. They don't see that right here on the right-hand side is a little 3-bar kind of search engine that allows you to see more search options. So I'm going to go ahead and click that. And in here, you can go ahead and start searching even more deeply. So for instance, I can search directly from, so any emails from a specific person. So I could look up Clint Stevens, who's on this call, and find all of his emails that he sent me. I could find all my emails that I've sent to a specific person or specific group. Has a subject, which can be really helpful because maybe you remember the subject header, but you don't remember the body of the email, or vice versa. You're looking for has the words. So you're going to find everything that has the specific phrase, those ideas in it. Doesn't have this, which is a great thing to eliminate certain emails if you're like looking for a specific timestamp, those sorts of things. Size of the email, and then you can choose megabytes, kilobytes, bytes. Within 3 days of a specific date, or a week of within a specific date. There was a time about a year ago where I was looking for an email I knew was in like January. So I picked January 1st and did within 30 days, and I found it almost immediately. It was fantastic. So it really helps out. And the last one, that you can search specific inboxes or threads within your email. So you can do all mail, inbox, starred, sent mail, drafts, and so on and so forth. But then also you can set up other filters. We'll get into that here in a minute. The last one here is also, you can say it has an attachment. I'm looking for emails that has this keyword or from this sender that only has attachments. So that's how you find a lot of these things that Google's asking you to look for inside of Gmail. Find attachments right there. Is from a starred colleague. So I can go right here to all mail and click only my starred emails, or a specific label like drafts. I can say specific colleague, so to and from, or a specific keyword in subject has the words, or just up here in my search bar to go with it as well. Now, with that said, if I wanted to create a filter for a particular person or a particular idea, I could. So like, for instance, I could say has the words GEG Utah, and I can go ahead and click create filter down here in the bottom right hand of that search panel, and it will create a filter that only has emails that say GEG Utah go directly to that location. So it makes it really easy for me to do that. And you can see that if I go down here to, I believe it might take a second to get in there. But it'll show up eventually as having a filter for GEG Utah, which is really nice. Now, while I'm there just for a second, this isn't on this list for GC1, but I do want to point out that down here, you can also create labels, which if you have a reoccurring assignment or reoccurring group of students, it's really helpful to create a label for that assignment. So if students are sending you stuff for a project and you want to be able to see that work really quickly, you can create a brand new label down here and label all that material. And then as students send in work, you can label them en masse to go to that particular location. I did that all the time when I was a K-12 educator because it really helped me to organize things that students were sending me to get things across. And I love Clint. Yeah, advanced email search is so helpful. It's especially when you have thousands upon thousands of emails from students or teachers or all sorts of people. It's just so helpful. You got something to add, Clint?
or emails from 6 districts and 9 charter schools. It helps a
Yes.
lot. Yeah.
When you have multiple constituencies or classes that you're working with, it's so nice to be able to just go, all of my teachers that are from this school are going to a specific search filter or a specific label, and I know I can click on that and everything's there for me. I don't have to
labels too. I usually have a topic and then a organization label that I put on each email. So we can find
awesome. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Couple other things that they want you to know for level 1. So that's all of the advanced search things that you need to know for Gmail in level 1, but they also want you to know a couple things with Google Meet and Google Chat. Now, these are both embedded into your Gmail, and you may or may not be using them on a daily basis, but they can be really helpful for collaboration with other teachers or with your admin. So what we're talking about is just right over here on the left-hand side. So you have your mail with your inbox and your start and all your defaults there. Then right here with chat, this is where you can get into chatting with a colleague. So right here, you can see I've been chatting with Ian Davey, one of the GEG Utah leaders. And all I have to do to chat with a person that's in my domain is go ahead and click the plus sign right here. And it will come up with an automatic list of people who I frequently email down here at the bottom. Or I can go ahead and search, or I can start a great group conversation. I can create a space. I can browse spaces. I can create a bot or find a bot, which is kind of insane. Or I can do a message request or see message requests from people as well. So what I used to use chat for, and what I still use chat for quite frequently, is to quickly talk to people who are in that I basically need to chat with, like a text message, but I know they're in my domain, or they're it's people that I know are in trusted domains. So Ian, for instance, he's in another domain, but I chat with him quite frequently about things for GEG Utah. So we have this ongoing chat. Clint and I have one as well, I believe on our USET board as well. And we use this to talk to each other. When I was a teacher, we set up a group chat for all of us in my department, and anyone could contribute to this on a daily basis and share ideas across the board. It was a really cool experience for things. Clint, you got something to add?
You just said my name, so I thought I better jump in.
Oh, awesome. No, I just love that you and I have a chat for USET so we can share ideas quickly, either that or via text, so we can get things across really quick.
Or both, or
exactly.
a combination of the three. Yeah.
It's another method of communicating, which is fantastic.
It's like a doorbell just ringing, say, hey.
Yep, exactly. Doorbelling everyone that you need to talk to right there. And I really love that chat feature where you can start a group chat, having everyone in your department, or maybe in your hall, or maybe a few people that you really want to chat with. That's just fantastic. All right. The last thing that they want you to know for GC1, just really quickly, is the other thing down below, which is where it says Meet. So if I go ahead and click that, it's going to open up a tab where I can start a new meeting, or I can see my upcoming meetings on my calendar that are scheduled through Google Meet. This is fantastic for quick collaboration, again, between teachers, between admin and teachers, between admin to admin, tech coaches and instructional coaches to teachers that need to meet, and maybe do it asynchronously, or maybe you need to schedule a quick meeting with a parent and a student, and you want to be able to talk to them quickly. And all of this is just right there. I'll tell you the thing I use it most frequently for is when I know I'm going into a big meeting and I'm worried about my camera or microphone, I click start a new meeting right there, and it pops up a brand new meeting, and I can check whether my camera is working, my microphone's working, and then I can go into my new meeting with confidence. So it's just a little tip that I use all the time. All right, with that said, that covers everything that you need to know for GC1, for email, for Gmail, and for all the stuff within Gmail, including Google Meet and Google Chat. So with that said, we're going to move on to GC2, which has a lot more stuff, including we're going to jump over and look at Google Keep. And if you have never used Google Keep, oh, it's one of my favorites. We'll talk about that in just a second as well. All right, well, let's jump into GC2, and let's start with Gmail here since we're already here. So first thing they want you to know is how to create a template email and how to use advanced settings in Google. So right up here at the top of your screen, you're going to see your settings cog, just like you see in a lot of Google platforms, Google tools. You're going to see that settings cog. And when you click it, it's going to open up a little side panel. These are all your like quick settings. So like your default, comfortable, compact email look, your theme. You can decide on your inbox type, those sorts of things. But what we really want to jump into is this button that says see all settings. In here, there are tons and tons of things that help you to customize your experience as a Google user within Gmail. I'm not going to go into all of these, and some of them honestly are super advanced even for me. But I want to make sure that you know about a couple of the things that they need to know for GCU2. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go all the way across. We'll come back to this page when we get to helpful tips. We're going to go across this page to advanced right here. And in here, they offer a few very detailed but helpful tools for teachers to build their Gmail in a way that really functions well for them. So the first one is auto advance. And to enable all these, you can see just right here, you click enable and then pop up with save changes. Auto advance, as it says, show the next conversation instead of your inbox after you delete, archive, or mute a conversation. So if you delete, chain mail or like a newsletter or even like a Google Classroom announcement or something like that you don't really need, instead of taking you back to your home screen, it just goes to your next message, which for a lot of people, that's really helpful because maybe you have unread emails in a list and you need to go through all of them really quickly and you want to make sure you answer them and then you're sent off and you're ready to the next one. So super helpful little feature that pops up. Number 2 is templates. I'm going to come back to that one, but basically you can create an email template that you can use again and again and again within your Gmail to send to students or teachers or parents about a specific thing that you talk about all the time. Maybe like password directions or how to use Canvas or how to use a piece of Google software, or maybe a template for retrieving a passcode that you use all the time. Then you also have customized keyboard shortcuts. And if we enable it, you'll be able to see those down below on your Gmail account. And then unread message icons, how many unread messages are in your inbox with a quick glance at your mail icon on the tab header, which is right up here at the top when we go back to our inbox. Right now, I'm just going to disable all these because I don't use all of them, but I do want to have templates turned on. So I'm just going to hit save changes. Again, it's your inbox. Make it the way you want to. Do some really cool things and get it to customize to where you want it to be. So I'm going to hit save changes. And it's going to reopen my inbox. And it doesn't look like anything changed. But first thing I'm going to do is going to go ahead and click compose a new email in the top left-hand corner. And just to make this really easy, I'm going to make this full screen so you can see it. So I have an email now. I'm not to normally do this. You'd add the to whoever you're going to send it to, your subject, your body of your email, all that jazz. And I'm just going to add a quick subject. I'm going to go GG Utah reminders. And then just a quick hello teachers. And then a couple enters. We'll leave it at that. Now, if I go over to my bottom right, there's a trash can and our 3 buttons. And we know in Google, our 3 buttons means that there's more options. So if I hit my 3 buttons, I got all of my, default to full screen templates, label, print, all that stuff, but I just glossed over it. We have templates now. So right here, if I have templates, I can go ahead and save this draft email as a brand new template. Save it as GG Utah reminders, save. Now, if I close that email, go ahead and compose another new email and go back to templates. There is my template and it automatically autofills everything that's there. And you can have as many templates as you would like to plug into that, which is so nice. I used to use this all the time to send emails to students, specifically about different projects in class. I had a late work one. I had a reminder email that I kind of templated and then had a couple of features that I could add on, those sorts of things. And it just made my life so much easier as a teacher to build off of. All right. With that said, we're going to move off of templates and we're going to move off of the advanced settings. But again, we'll come back to that settings cog and look at some more stuff here in a few minutes. The next thing I want to look at is we're going to talk about Google Chat and a few advanced features with that. So I showed you earlier over here, the plus sign where it says chat. You can add a brand new chat. I'm going to just go ahead and start a brand new chat with my friend Kayla here at UEN. Now, inside the chat, this is what it looks like right here. And you can expand it out and make it full screen so you can chat and share things. Down here at the bottom, this is where you type your message where it says history is on, and I can start typing and send her a message. Hello, I'm working on this project. I need this help, those sorts of things. Over here on the right-hand side, though, are a bunch of options. And this is what Google wants you to know for GC2. The first one is obviously you can add an emoji. That's awesome. That's acceptable. You can also add some GIFs if you want to. We can upload files. So if you're trying to, share an image design or a project with another teacher or an administrator or a poster, easy to do it right there. You can also add things from your Google Drive and upload those very quickly, again, for sharing purposes. We can start a brand new video meeting, so Google Meet, directly inside our chat. And then finally, we can also schedule calendar events. So, and this adds to-do lists. So if I, for instance, say on November 12th, we need to have this project done, I can schedule that and add that to both of our to-do lists directly from that location. So it's really straightforward and simple to do collaboration with your fellow teachers and really jump into some cool stuff with that. All right. Next thing we're going to jump into is we are going to look at Google Keep. Now, there's a couple places you get to this. I'm going to show you the general one, which we all pretty much know, which is the waffle. Then we're going to look at my favorite way to get there. So the first place is obviously up here in the top right. We can go ahead and look for all of our apps, look through all of our apps and find Google Keep. Google Keep is a light bulb. So it's really easy to find. I always think Einstein light bulb, you're good to go. So you can click that and it'll take us directly to Google Keep and start working with it. Now, if you have never worked with Google Keep, what it is, it's digital sticky notes. So it's great for note taking. It's great for creative note taking. And we'll talk about some examples with that here in a few minutes. The other place you may have not noticed in your life so far is over here on the right-hand side. You get this great little bar of Google Apps that are the smaller apps that are connected to Gmail and throughout your Google Suite. The first one being your calendar. Then you have Google Keep, Tasks, which is a great checklist for things you've got to do. And then you also have your contacts. And you can add more. I have Adu Magical Forms there. You can add any of the extensions that you'd like there. But Google Keep is right there. So that's why it's so exciting for me as a teacher and as a trainer, is that I can take notes on emails that I get. I can take notes during video calls. I can take notes during classes directly within my email. And so I can monitor a conversation while also taking notes on it. So Google has made it really simple for us to do that. All you have to do is click plus note right here, and then it allows you to add a title and take a note. You can also click the drop down and delete or archive notes from there. And then you get this little pin that allows you to keep that note at the top of your notes. So if it's something important, like for instance, a email template or a list of people you need to contact, it can just stay right there. Now to get to full notes, again, you can go to your waffle, or we can click the open in a new tab button. This will take us directly to Google Keep. And this is what Google Keep will look like for your students and for you when you launch it. Very simple little interface. So over here on the left-hand side, we have our notes. We can set reminders. We can create and edit labels. We can archive, or we can trash messages or trash notes. Top bar along here, we can take a note. We can add create a new checklist, start a new note with a drawing, or start a new note with an image. So I'm just going to go ahead and then down below, by the way, you have your pin notes and then you have your other notes as well. Any of those, if you just click it, it automatically opens it up and you can start editing it and adding more to it. So it's completely saved every single time you go in there, and then you can have that refresh every single time. Just remember to click on and click off so it saves it. So I'm going to go ahead and click take a note. I'm going to go ahead and type in GEG Utah sample. And then from there, I can go ahead and just start typing, or I can copy text or whatever I need to do. But I can also hit a remind me, and it'll remind me of later today, tomorrow, next week, pick a day and time, pick a place, and it'll set a reminder to my account that I need to check this note to do what it says I need to do. I can share a note with other people, and this is great for collaborative note taking in a class. So if you as a teacher are having a student, for instance, I was an ELA teacher, having them read a novel, you can say, hey kids, I want you to have a partner. You're going to take notes on the book and you're going to share those notes on Google Keep. And if one of you is gone one day, the other person's taking the notes for them, and then vice versa. And you can kind of collaborate on those notes to make them what they are, which is fantastic. And you can add as many people as well. So this is great for team collaboration as well. I had a great note going with my department where all of us would add things for our PLC as we went through from week to week. The next one is you can change your color. So if you don't like, the white background, you can go ahead and hit yellow for classic Post-it, or you can grab whatever color tickles your fancy. You can also add images, and then these are all mostly only downloaded images. So it doesn't integrate with Google Images yet, or Google Photos, but you can grab a downloaded image. Like for instance, I'll grab this one from earlier today, and it'll add that image, and you can add as many images as you'd like to that. It's pretty great. The next one there is archive. So this just sends your message when you're done with it and you're not going to need it, but you want to have it just to make sure that you remember it for future. Just sends it to your archive there on the right hand or left hand side. As always, we got our 3 dots there though, so that gives us more information that we might want to cover. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the 3 dots. I can also delete the note. I can add a label, so I can go ahead and say, okay, I want this to be for GEG Utah. And now you can see, let's see. Just want to make sure it goes through. There we go. So now I forgot to hit enter as always. Now you can see over here on the left-hand side, I now have a tab that's just for GEG Utah notes. So you could encourage your students to create a label for a novel or a unit, or even just for the whole class, or you could do this as a whole school and have multiple classes under different labels in a single Google Keep note. Then on top of that, we can go ahead and add a drawing. So this just attaches with Google Drawings and opens up, and you got the same tools you'd see on Google Drawings or on Jamboard. You got an eraser, you got your pen, you got a brush or a marker, and then you have a brush. You can also draw square, dots, ruler, and those sorts of things. And then you can go ahead and start drawing a note right there. And what's great is that when you're done, if you hit back, it adds as an image directly to your note. On top of that, we also have make a copy. So you can make multiple copies of a note. You can create a show checklist. So this is your check boxes, and you can create a checklist of things you need to do, which I always loved. It just makes it so easy for me to go, okay, I have 20 things to do over the next week. Here are all the things I need to do, and they're all in each individual items. And the last one here is you can also grab image text, which is fantastic. We're going to go ahead and talk about copy to Google Notes here in a few minutes, because it's such a great little tool for integrating Google Docs and then also sending them off to like places like Google Classroom or Canvas to turn in for an assignment. All right, I think that's everything for Google Keep in level 2. I just want to make sure we got create a new list. So we talked about that, add items to that list. So again, if you go right here for checklist, and then you just add an item to do, you are all set. And then the last one here, share it with a colleague. Oh, we talked about sharing, add a reminder to Google Keep note, and in Google Keep, create a note with a drawing. Yep, absolutely covered it. Carly, I'm not seeing the link to level 1 and level 2 on the training page. Let me go grab that for you really quick. I'll just grab the direct link here. And hopefully that works for you. Let me know yes or no on that. All right, with that said, we have about 9 minutes left. I'm going to try and cruise through this so we can get some Q&A here in a couple minutes. But we're going to jump down to some helpful hints, some tips, things that will help you out as a Google user in Gmail and Keep. So the first one that I want to talk about is going back to Gmail for a minute. We're going to talk about email signatures. So you can see if I go ahead and start a brand new email, I have an email signature within my email. Now this just has some basic information, my email, my Twitter, and I added some of the like Google Trainer, Google Coach, Wakelet Ambassador, those sorts of things that I'm a part of to help people know what I do as a trainer. Teachers should do this. And honestly, teachers should encourage students to do this. And Google makes it really simple to do it. So if we go back up to our settings cog and we go to see all settings, on that main general page here, if we scroll down, right here, we get a box that says signature. Now, we're going to go ahead and enable your signature, and then you can create as many signatures as you would like. So you can have a signature for specific groups, or you can have signatures for your students, or signatures for parents with specific information, or you could set up signatures. I've seen a lot of teachers do this, signatures based on times of the year. So you could have one for like Halloween, and one for the holidays, and one for the spring, and one for over the summer messages with like out of office messages. It's an awesome way to do it. And all you have to do is hit create new, and then just make sure it's down here. It says, I want my badge signature for all new emails, and you're good to go. Where I make these, and I've mentioned this a few times in class before, is I love using Canva to create badges and signatures. So if I actually go to Canva and I type in signature, right here, it already has one made up that you can just grab, and they have templates to make a really pretty signature in your class. And they also have a lot of those themed ones for times of the year. So definitely a great way to do some cool things to help make your class a little bit more functionable in your email signature. So things like, again, email signatures for parents, email signatures for students, out of office signatures, those sorts of things. But then also encourage your students to do it. Have them create signatures as well, so they can build that competency for later in life. All right. Number 2 here, schedule an email to send to your colleagues and students in Gmail. I hope you already know about this. I hope all teachers already know about this, but literally this is probably one of the best tools in Gmail that I have ever used. And it's one that I use all the time, especially during the pandemic, to schedule an email to send out to my students or to parents or to my colleagues when I was either ill or maybe I was having I just needed some time. I could set this up and send it out whenever it was needed. So again, if I go to Gmail and I go ahead and hit brand new email, I'm just going to expand this really quick. So I'm going to add add the subject, add my body of my email and all the links I need. Right here on the bottom where it says send, right next to it is a nice little drop down. And right there, it gives you scheduled send. So I don't have a recipient. So Clint, I'm going to put you in there. And if I go ahead and do that and hit scheduled send again, I can choose tomorrow morning. It automatically guesses, maybe you want to send this out tomorrow morning. Maybe you're out of office, maybe you're out of classroom, those sorts of things. Or maybe you want to send tomorrow afternoon to remind a class, Monday morning, or you can pick a scheduled time. So what's great about this is you can have as many scheduled emails as you want. So as a teacher, if for instance, you're going to be out for an illness or for like a surgery, or maybe you're taking a vacation, or maybe you want to send an email at a specific time. Maybe you're playing a escape room game with your students and you want to send them a piece of instructions at a specific time. You can choose the day and the specific time that email will send to the students so that they get that information right then, or to the parents, or to your administrators, or to people who are your colleagues so that you can collaborate with them. So it's one of my favorite tools that I used all the time, especially during the pandemic, to do some really cool things. All right, we're gonna jump back over to Google Keep for just a couple more tips. Number 1 is, we've already talked about it, but I just want to again reiterate that you can add images to Google Keep. This is one thing that I really loved doing as a student, not as a teacher, but as a student. When I went to seminars or conferences, I would take pictures of things I saw on boards, or if an instructor had a great QR code that I knew I didn't want to lose, I would take a picture of it with my phone and then upload it to Google Keep and store it there day to day, those sorts of things. And it was fantastic. It saved me so much time. Now, on top of that, reason why I advertise doing that is I'm going to go ahead and close that. Now I have 2 messages in here under GC or GG Utah. So one of my favorite things, and I alluded to this earlier, is that Google Keep can then transfer messages as a group to a Google Doc. So let's say that you have, I'm just going to go with ELA again, a unit based around a novel. Every day you read with your students, you're asking them to take notes about what they hear in the plot. Maybe you're asking them to draw things, or go out and find photographs of things that you're talking about, those sorts of things. And every day for maybe 2 weeks, they have notes. So they have these 10 great Google Keep notes. Well, as long as they put that under a specific label, they can then go ahead and draw on the white space inside of Google Keep and highlight your 2 messages. When you do that, or as many messages as you want, by the way, so I've done this with 30, 40 messages at a time. When I do that, it says up here, I get a brand new bar. I've got 2 selected, 2 Google Keep notes selected. And now I can pin them. I can remind me. I can change the colors. I can archive. But if I hit my drop down again, copy to Google Docs, and I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And what it does is it goes ahead and takes all of that note material that I just created, including my pictures, and puts it into a brand new Google Doc. So I'm going to see right down here, open Google Doc. And there we go. here are my pictures, and here are my notes, ready to go. And now I can share that with my teacher. I can send it to Canvas. I can share it on Google, whatever I'd like it to do. I can do it now. And it's a lot easier than trying to share a bunch of Google Keep messages back and forth between teacher and student. This simplifies the whole process for you. All right, the last one is, again, just going back, I want to reiterate this point. We talked about it a little bit, but adding labels really does help. So I'm going to click on that edit labels button, and you can add as many labels as you want. Just remember, like I did earlier, make sure you hit enter. So I'm going to add a new one for UEN. Just hit enter. Now I have a label for UEN, and it just pops up on the side here, and teachers and students can continue to add as many labels as they want. Well, the conference, one of the things I love to do, like I mentioned earlier, is take notes at conferences on my laptop through Gmail. And so maybe I'll put in my conference and put all of the messages and things I find from a conference into that space, and I'm good to go. So with that said, folks, that is everything you need to know, including some helpful tips for GCE1, GCE2 on Google Gmail and Google Keep. Lots of really cool stuff in there, easy to work through, and honestly, just ways to keep you organized and excited and functioning as a teacher. Because I don't know about you, but when I was teaching full time, the hardest thing I faced every day was staying organized, keeping track of what I was sending to different classes, different students, and making sure that that worked properly. So to finish up today, a couple things. Number one, just a reminder, here's our site. Everything that we just talked about is on our Gmail and Keep page on our website, and I'll put the link up here in just a second. When I get the video up for this chat on YouTube, I'll post that on here as well, so you can watch that at your leisure. And every week that we've done before is on there, so I'll just click on Docs here. Here's the training video, and then also all the material you need. With the exception of Calendar and a few other little small programs that we'll talk about next week, that's everything for Google, which is crazy. We're almost done. Here's the link right here. It is bit.ly/UENFall Google, all caps. And it's also in the chat. If you need access to it too, shoot me an email, mwinters@uen.org. And just a couple other reminders as well. All the videos are on our UEN video YouTube channel. They're under playlists or under videos, and you can find all of them there. I update this weekly with our media department, and they add those for me, make it really simple. And the last thing, just again, another announcement from today for those of you that were a little bit late. GC1 and GC2 are MOOC courses. Any teacher in Utah can join. And as of today, any teacher can also get a free voucher for the test through Google. So just through UEN, not through Google, but through UEN. So you finish all your coursework in the MOOC course, and then at the end, you'll get a voucher sent to you, and you're able to take the test for free. So that $10 for GCE1 and the $25 for GCE2 is now free, which is incredible. It's $35 back in your pocket or in your LEA's pocket. Have a great question here. Are there deadlines for the Google Certified Educator classes, like the MOOC classes that are due at the end of the year? Yes, there is. So this version of the MOOC course will close on December 31st, but it'll just reopen on January 1st. You can re-enroll, and the same things apply. We'll continue to hand out vouchers indefinitely, basically, until I'm told I don't have any more. And then I'll probably apply for a bunch more. So I hope that helps out. I'll be sending out an announcement GCE1, GCE2 on November 1st. But to remind you to finish up your coursework by December 31st. The vouchers are good for 30 days. So you'll be able to take that test or use that voucher to take the test within 30 days of it being issued. So we definitely want to make sure that you have that 3-hour period to take the test available to you very soon.